Welcome back to another episode of your Wellness Friend podcast, your go-to place every Wednesday for gut health tips, real talk, and wellness wins you can actually stick to. I'm your host, Francis, certified wellness coach and your personal guide to feeling amazing in your body, especially if you had your gallbladder removed, dealing with digestive issues, or just want to stop feeling like your food is the enemy. If this show has helped you in any way, would you do me a quick favor? Leave me a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It helps more women like you find this show and start feeling better, faster. And if you're ready to take the next step, head over to my website to learn more about working with me one-on-one. Let's grab your matcha and let's dive in. Hello, ladies. Welcome back to another episode of your Wellness Friend podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about something that is extremely, extremely important. And honestly, if you're in the wellness space or you're just beginning your wellness journey, you would have heard it already. And today, we're going to be talking about gut health and how that is your second brain. I've heard it so many times. That was something that I heard tremendously pretty often in the beginning, when I was just starting the journey, when I was starting to do my research, when I was starting to just really understand how important my gut is, because the fact that it does have a direct connection to your brain. And I'm going to break it down for you guys today, so kind of just let you guys know what's going on. And the things I've really learned about it, which overall is actually pretty surprising. So, all right, ladies, so grab your matcha. Let's get ready. So your Wellness Friend podcast pretty much started because I wanted to have a safe space that allowed for my clients and my future clients to come and just sit down and just share. I mean, when you're looking for advice, if you're looking just to kind of hash things out, you always go to a friend, someone who you could trust, someone you could have a conversation about. And that's really what I'm really hoping to provide in this little space online that I'm trying to build here. So I'm always going to throw in some personal stories or personal experiences. I always chit chat with my friends about, because whenever we speak about anything, I'm like, hey, I know what you're feeling because I've done the same thing. Or I'll say it to a friend and they're like, I know exactly what you mean because I feel the same exact way, or I've gone through the same exact thing. So having a friend is just going to be something that is going to help build a safe space, really. So talking about your gut health, I used to think gut health was just about digestion, right? So it's in your gut, you think your stomach, you think, okay, cool, it's going to be the food that I eat. If they make me bloated, if I have sensitivity to them. I am Puerto Rican Mexican, as I said before, so spicy food was something I was loving it, and it was something that was every chance I get, throw some hot sauce on it. Like, that was the best thing. But what I didn't realize is that my mood, my anxiousness, my tired all the time, sometimes in the beginning, I was constantly sick with a cold or with sinus infection or something of that, or a cough of some kind. And I did not realize that my gut was a direct connection to everything I just mentioned. So once I started supporting my gut, everything changed. My energy went up, my focus became clear, and even my sleep. And I've said this before, and I will say it again. Sleep is so important to me now. I will literally go ahead and be like, I'm not going anywhere, because you best to believe at 10:30, my lights that are in my house start to dim down. They go into a nice soft yellow, and then my bedroom turns into a nice red room, because I love my red light. I'm all about red light therapy. I actually have it in the studio that I work at. I do it as much as I possibly can. My goal is to actually have a red light mask, and so I could do that at night or even in the morning. Red light therapy is insanely just good for your circulation, it's good for your nervous system, it's good for anxiety, for depression, it's good for so many things. And that's something that as I said in my last episode, stress is a big factor. So that's something that I truly, truly top priority, non-negotiable, and that's my sleep. So once I really took that into control, like I said, everything kind of just fell into place and I started to feel like myself again. I started to feel like I was 20 something years old. I started to feel like I was able to stay up all night, do what I needed to do, and just get on throughout my day. So that's why today we're going to be diving into the truth about your gut, aka your second brain. If you've been feeling tired, moody, and constantly battling stomach issues, then this episode is going to really help you understand your gut and understand what your gut's trying to tell you, like how to naturally heal it is really going to be my major focus because I am a holistic wellness coach. So over these last couple of years, I have adapted a more clean, natural way of living, and of course, I'm still changing. I am now 5 years, I would say about 5 years into choosing to be more cleaner and natural. And I'm still changing every single day. That's honestly major, major part of it. So, like I said, kind of focusing on like gut health as the foundation of your health, that pretty much is kind of where everything starts. So, again, giving you guys some research or giving you guys some numbers 70% of our immune system lives in our gut. 70%. So that is a big, big chunk of our body's immune system coming all from the gut. This is something that I found out about it really was an eye opener for me because, again, it plays such a major part on the food that I'm ingesting. It had me just going on a spiral. I was like, okay, my immune system is coming from my gut. So, what am I eating that is not supporting it? What are the things that I am lacking that is not helping it to heal naturally? So, a lot of things had to be taken into consideration. Besides that, your gut bacteria even influences on how you store fat and how you regulate energy. So, when someone is super tired and someone is really lacking that energy, what happens is that we start to store fat in our midsections. And a lot of the times, and that's something that I really realized because me personally, I'm about 5'8". I'm just gonna be very honest and transparent. I am 235 pounds. And even though I'm that weight on the number scale, I don't look that weight in person. And what happened was is that a large amount of the areas that I still carry pretty heavy is in my stomach area, is in my thighs area, and is in my upper arms. And those are my areas that I'm really comfortable with it, to be very honest. Just a second, that is just one of my areas or three of my areas that are a concern for me. But what I realized is that when I started to prioritize my sleep and really put that as a focus, a lot of the stored fat started to go away. And then not only that, 90% of our serotonin, which is your happy, feel good hormone, is produced in your gut. So it's absolutely crazy. It's like 70% of your immune system comes from the gut. 90% of your feel good, happy hormone is produced in the gut. So if you think about it, you need to put good, whole, vitamin rich food in your system so that the two major things that make you who you are, someone who's a happy, someone who has a positive attitude, someone who is just living life and is also not getting sick and not constantly in and out the hospital and just not just overall having to deal with all of those sicknesses, it literally all comes from your gut. And that to me was mind blowing. So your gut pretty much talks to your brain. And every single second, it goes through what is called the gut brain axis. So when your gut is off, your mood, your energy, your immune system usually are as well. So the gut brain axle is super, super important in just the full function of the body. Now, just for some content, um, your gut brain axle, it's a constant communicating highway between your gut tract or your digestive tract and your brain. And that's going to be via the vagus nerve and the gut microbiome. So those two things together, which pretty much builds up your digestive tract in your brain, the two of them is a highway. That's why they say that your gut health is a second brain, because it pretty much just is a highway. It's constantly going and coming, and you have to make sure that that highway is clear of any kind of debris or any kind of junk, and is always up to par, so that you could just function normally. So that's really the reason as to why when your gut is inflamed or it's imbalanced, it does send out distress signals. So your brain responds with anxiety, fatigue, brain fog, or like a low mood. So I'm really a visual person, I guess you could say. So I really like to think of stories and think of kind of an easier way of explaining things. So the way I see it is I'm sitting on the highway and there's the comings and goings. So I have my digestive tract on one side, my brain on the other. And whenever I am eating something bad, eating things that's highly processed or over sugared or just not of the best quality, what happened is that it puts debris inside of the highway. And that's where the debris is what pretty much knocks things out of the highway and starts clogging it up. I don't know if that makes sense, but to me, like I was like, okay, when I broke it down that way, I was like, oh, that makes sense to me. And of course, as I stated before, and I say again, all about the research, I was looking into just as gut inflammation, and of course, unfortunately, the very popular IBS or Crohn's or UC. These are all major things that currently a lot of people everywhere, pretty much everywhere, is dealing with. And what happened is that these gut inflammation diseases or autoimmune or imbalances, what they're doing is that they're making the person who has it experience more depression and anxiety. And that's just building a society right now that is just messed up with just their whole gut health balance is just off. And sadly, that's why we've seen such a high rise in depression and anxiety, because sadly, it does really start as something so simple as the gut, but yet places like McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's and all of these high processed places of high fats and high calories and high sugars and all of these things are just easily accessible, and have to make a choice to not fall in that, or you do not put yourself on the highway to the exit of depression or anxiety. Yeah, see how I did that? That's kind of how my brain thinks. I know, it's funny. So the one thing that I did was when I started looking to see if my gut was really the main factor of why I had the brain fog, or why I wasn't able to lose weight, or I mean, really just because of, and honestly, I did have a lot of anxiety and I did have, seasons of depression because I got discouraged. I got just really unhappy with how I was looking, to be honest. And I really had to take a self reflection moment. About five, almost 6 years ago, something major happened in my family that really just changed everything. Yeah, it just changed everything. And it really, how can I say, it really put things into focus for me. It's really crazy how it's so easy for us to just be in a routine. It's so easy for us to have comfortable habits, and not always are they for the better. Not all habits that we currently have are good ones. And that's what happened. I had to take a moment and really just turn the mirror back on myself. I really had to have a self reflection moment and see where was the areas that I was falling short and take responsibility for it. And that was not easy. And that was not fun. But because of the glory of my God, He allowed for me to give myself grace, and He allowed for me to really sit there and reflect. So, one of the things that I use, and I actually give this to my clients when I'm first starting out with them, because again, like I said, I mainly focus on my clients that have gallbladder issues, anyone leading up to a possible surgery, or anyone who had surgery and just kind of want to figure out what to do after and how to live their life after. I give them the same checklist. So if you have pen and paper, or you have placed into your notes, so your phone, definitely write this down. So cues that your system needs a check or out of balance, excuse me, is bloating, gas, or constipation. Okay, I know it's not cute, it's not cutesy for us to be speaking about things like this, but it's true. We need to have a more regular bowel movement. And of course, having extensive gas and bloating, that's your body letting like, hey, something's not right inside. Another thing is poor immunity. So, granted, people will say, "Oh, it's just the season. Um, it's cold season, it's flu season, it's some sort of season." But what happens is that if you have a strong immune system, those quote unquote seasons really don't apply to you. And I'll be 1,000% transparent. I've been doing this life now for 5 years. And in the 5 years, honestly speaking, I can't even count on one hand how many times I've actually been sick. And if I've gotten sick for whatever reason, um, I do get my IV drips every month. I do build up on my B complex, and I do build up on my carnitine. I build up on all of my minerals that and vitamins that I'm lacking to help build up my immune system. And I think 3, maybe 4 times in the last 5 years, I've actually been sick. Another one that I always tell them is in regards to food sensitivity. Now, I just finished doing this with my own daughter. I had mentioned it before that my daughter found out that she had a gluten intolerance, along with a dairy intolerance and a few other things. And the major thing that we did was, first of all, we did a full inventory check of everything we have in the house. Then what we did was that we wrote down all of the items that she loved, and we went on a search to find gluten-free versions of all of her favorite foods. And since her brother and I don't have a gluten allergy, what we did was that we separated it where her food was on one side and our food was on the other. And then eventually now, like I said, we're talking about it's going to be going on almost a year she found out about her gluten allergy. And I would say we are roughly about 70 to 75% of eating more gluten-free options for everybody. So again, we started off small and then build up from there. Another thing that I bring up with my clients is if you have skin issues like acne or eczema. Again, our bodies are beautifully made. Our bodies will let us know when things are not right. And even though it's coming from your gut, it will come out externally on the skin. And that's eczema from all over the body to specific areas of the body. Really pay attention to your body and start looking and doing body checks to see what's going on. And don't sleep on that. Like, literally take it seriously. Another big thing, and this actually was for me, was mood swings, anxiety, or brain fog. Okay, so mood swings definitely was a big one for me. 1 minute I'll be fine, the next minute I'll be agitated, the next minute I'm tired, the next minute I have a whole bunch of energy. It really definitely was all over the place. And besides that, brain fog. Oh my God, ladies, brain fog is something that I don't wish on my worst enemy. Brain fog at the severity that I had it was something that truly just drove me crazy because I couldn't remember a lot of things. I was constantly like second guessing myself. So brain fog is something that's for real. And then another big thing was being fatigued after meals. So what they call and people in my family, we call it the itis. So that's when you go ahead and you are eating a very like carbon dense food or a high sugar food. And what happens is your body will let you know that it's just tired. It really is tired. So honestly, if you checked off more than one of these, your gut could definitely be crying out for help. Your gut is like, hey, listen, I'm here. I need you to stop doing these things. And again, take small steps. I tell my clients the same thing. Don't go make this list and be like, oh my God, I need to completely throw everything away in my house. You know, my body doesn't have eczema and I need to go buy a whole skin product line that focuses on acne and skin. Like, you don't have to do anything that dramatic. It literally is simply starting small and just building from there. So, and again, as I've said before, and I'll say every single episode now moving forward, that I like to do things in threes. So, this is something that I do tell my clients, and I do personally live this life daily. So I'm going to actually go ahead and give you guys 4 tips. So one extra, it's a bonus. It's a bonus little tip there. And definitely implement these things into your daily life because you will see the difference. And when you do, make sure you tag me at harmonize.wellness. Harmonize Wellness is actually the parent company to the Wellness Friend podcast. That's where I do my one-on-one coaching. So definitely head over to the website. Everything will be in the description box below. And definitely come check us out. So, number 1, eat more gut-friendly fiber. It sounds like it's crazy, but it really isn't. So think like fruits, veggies, chia seeds, flax seeds, and lentils. Fiber feeds your good gut bacteria and keeps your digestive moving, which is what you need. Because as I said a few episodes back, as you get older, your metabolism will slow down. So we wait to do that a little bit more naturally so that it doesn't happen and start having more gut friendly fibers. And then tip number 2 would be add more probiotics daily. Okay, so I took the probiotics supplement by the name of Seed. That was really good, but my absolute favorite would have to be Thrive. The probiotics helped me to become more regular in the bathroom. It helped a lot with my inflammation and weight gain. It helps to balance it so it's not, giving you issues. But the one thing I did learn, and I actually have been getting better and better at it, and that is pickling items. So with pickling, I would actually pickle things like carrots or celery or onions. Right now, those are my 3 things I would say that I would pickle pretty often and always have it in my house or in my garage so that we can always have some on hand. So besides that, water. I said that all the time and I will continue to say that. Water is super, super, super important. We need to help flush out the toxins, our digestion, and then just prevent constipation because there's nothing worse than being constipated and having to deal with that inflammation and that discomfort for the whole day. And then the last tip definitely is stress. As I said in my last episode, stress is definitely a silent killer. I will definitely say that hydration is super, super important right now. I do use Element. Element for me has been a game changer. It definitely is something that I will use over and over again, will always have it in my bag because it really is not, it's just a nice, clean product. So that's a big thing for me. And then lastly would be the lowering of stress. As I said in my other episode, stress is a major, major concern. You want to lower your stress as much as possible because being in a chronic stress state of mind or chronic stress body reaction, what it does actually weakens your gut lining and increase inflammation. It puts your body in a fight or flight way of being, and your body thinks that you're being attacked all day, every day. And if you think about it, if you were being attacked all day, every day, you would be tired as hell. Your body would just be like, I'm done. And that's exactly what happens. So this is something, again, like I said in one of my other episodes, that you could definitely do. Just go ahead and take 5 minutes, take a deep breath, journal, or step outside so you could reset your nervous system. Kind of like a quick recap. Eating more gut-friendly fibers, having a natural probiotic daily, drinking your water, getting your elements, and then of course lowering your stress. That is something that is alive and well and is easy for you to do, and it's something that doesn't take too much out of you. Small actions is what you need to really make a difference in just your gut health overall. So with that being said, ladies, again, it looks like our podcast episodes are going longer and longer, which I am loving. So I really kind of just want to do a recap. Like I said, your gut is really the root of your energy. It's the root of your mood. It's the root of your immune system. It can even help you lose weight. And you know what? The best part is that you don't have to have a complicated protocol to start feeling better. Small, consistent steps can lead to big changes in how you feel on the inside and how you feel on the outside. So ladies, again, I want to welcome you to go ahead and check out my website. If you're looking to work with me one-on-one, I definitely am taking clients at this moment. So we could definitely go ahead and book a discovery call, which will be completely complimentary, but also give you kind of a moment to see if I'm a good friend for you, if you and I are going to vibe in the way that you need so that you're able to really see true results and honestly just truly heal from the inside out. So with that being said, I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you hanging out with me again today. Make sure to listen in again next Wednesday for the next episode going to be airing. And like I said, I really want to help you build a gut loving routine that's going to work for your body. So make sure you check out my website. But other than that, ladies, I wish you well. Have a good night and God bless. Take care. Bye.